sanity in the 21st century. This is Brother Andre Marie of Reconquest. Join Charles Colomb, Commander John Sharp, CJ Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sisters Maria Philomena, Anne Marie Gabrielle, and me for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie. Go to Catholicism.org/conference, Catholicism.org/conference.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem, I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Excommunicated yourself. How do you do that? Just say kill babies in public the day they're gonna be born. It's not that hard. Greetings, it's a Free Phone Friday. My church show, we are live, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday. It's Free Phone. Friday. Friday. It's Free Phone.
Free. Hey, Free Phone Friday. Today you were charged with the task of telling us what it is we shall talk about here on the program. Telephone number, take me up on this kind, benevolent, beneficent offer, the use of these radio airwaves. 844-527-8723. Coming to you live from the Cooking with the KingDude studio here on a Friday. Shop for all my rubs, cooking aprons, roux spoons, cookbooks, you name it, at shop.mikechurch.com. Is it possible that you excommunicated yourself is a real thing? This is the question du jour, the question that many people are asking today because of the actions to Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey. Now, we talked about this on the program 3 times. Once with Brother Andre, once with Joe Doyle, or twice with Joe Doyle, and I talked about it a half a dozen times. That I told that crowd 1,000 times that when you do something that is so horrifically counter to the faith, if you're a Catholic, contrary to the Catholic faith, and you do it in such a public manner, in some sense, whether it's official or not, you excommunicate yourself because you've separated yourself from the faith and the faithful. So, Catholic Vote coming out and saying and sending a letter to the bishops of Massachusetts saying you need to excommunicate this woman. I agree with them. We've said this here on this show. We didn't send anyone a letter, but we asked the people of Massachusetts to communicate with their bishops and that they should ask for and that you should demand because it's a scandal against you. Because someone's going to say to you, someone's going to say, well, the governor did it, so it must be okay. And that bishop, your stupid church didn't do anything about it. That's why it's a scandal. If you wonder why, and you go like, well, why would that be a scandal? Because the situation that I just described. It is, here we are in the year of our Lord and Savior, Anno Domini 2026. And so we're coming up on basically in 33, if you live that long, or if God allows all of us to live that long without sending a comet or an asteroid or a giant meteor to wipe the whole planet out. It'll come up on the 2000th anniversary of the crucifixion of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on the 25th of March in the year 33 AD at 3:15 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, 2,000 years has passed. Here is the one incontrovertible, amazing thing. Despite the total, despite the near total lack of competence of Catholic hierarchy and Catholic prelates and clergy over these 2,000 years, somehow the church survives. It has to be the real deal. No entity could survive the bungling and the buffoonery and sometimes just the outrageousness of the hierarchy. And again, yeah, it's a scandal. It's a pox upon all our houses. Today is feast day of St. Maximilian Kolbe. Just consider that on this day, August 14th in 1944, the Nazis who were running the camp of Auschwitz failed to starve this Catholic priest, this Franciscan friar, failed to starve him to death. And he was the last one in basically a dungeon that they threw. I can't remember, or I don't know the number of people. He volunteered for it. He took somebody else's place. But he was the last one to die. And they keep opening the door, and they're dead. Or one's dead, or two's dead, or however many. And after 14 days, there is Father Kolbe still saying his rosary, or saying some equivalent of the rosary, because they probably didn't let him have one. And to end the scandal that was upon the evil of the camp that was Auschwitz, they injected him with carbonic acid. Or is it carbonic or carbolic? Whatever it is. That's how they finally killed him. And this makes sense. There are no first-class relics of Father Kolbe's remains because they cremated him. So you'd never be able to cover the ashes or be able to recover the ashes. But it's just it's carbolic acid. Okay, I thought it was carbolic. It's just a reminder of when I say that the buffoonery of the hierarchy, and you contrast that. Well, why has the church survived? Because you had men like Saint Maximilian Kolbe, who lived the kind of life that it's difficult to imagine. So we'll talk about all this as the program unfolds in front of your very ears here today. Lots else going on. Told you so, told you so, told you so. I kind of get tired of saying this, but the children, the demons are ascendant. They've come for the children, and they won't take no for an answer. We started saying this in 2016, in the spring of 2016, when the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, no coincidence that it is nicknamed the Queen City. And by queen, they don't mean Victoria. By queen, they mean the Queen City. The Queen City passed an ordinance making it legal for men to use women's public bathrooms. This is known as the bathroom ordinance, and they said they had to do it because the trannies of the Queen City were running out of places to pee, and their feelings were being hurt because they weren't being fully accepted by the Charlotte community because they weren't being allowed into the restroom of their choosing. Well, if I was a pervert, I could say, well, the restroom of my choosing is the women's, if I'm a dude, right? This began the controversy that dragged out throughout the spring and then into the early summer. Then the North Carolina legislature gets involved and goes, okay, well, we're just going to write a law that says that no municipality in this state may do something, and I can't remember what the law said. They basically outlawed it statewide. And then this, of course, brought the wrath of Moloch and his minions down upon the state of North Carolina. Remember all the people, the rock concert people, Bruce Springsteen said, I'm not playing in North Carolina, Hall and Oates. I can't remember. They all lined up. This is an outrage, it's an abomination. No, it was normal, good people saying, keep 43-year-old pervert men out of our children's bathrooms. Now, do you remember what happened that basically spurred the state into action? A dude was actually arrested because it was disguised as a woman, was playing make-believe drag queen or whatever. It was a 43-year-old man, and he went into a women's bathroom, some public park in Charlotte, and a mother brought her like 8-year-old daughter, 8-year-olds, dude, it's always 8-year-olds, 8-year-old daughter into the same bathroom, and then the little girl went into the empty stall because there were 2 in the bathroom, and she's doing what little girls do. And then the mother was standing there by the sink, washing her hands or powdering her nose or whatever. And the daughter says something or starts crying or whatever. And the mother looks up to see that this pervert is standing on the toilet apparatus. And he is leering, he's peeping down at her daughter in the stall. Of course, the mother was horrified. She realizes that this is not a woman, this is the dude with a wig on. And she grabs her daughter and runs out, calls 911. And then the dude runs away or whatever, but they chase him down and first they didn't want to arrest him. As they said, it wasn't violated. Well, ultimately they had to arrest him. That's how the whole thing began. And when all of satanic America united behind this is when the tranny mammy madness began in earnest. Well, lo and behold, there's a report out yesterday that physicians, actual pediatricians, exactly as we told you they were doing this, were actually conspiring with insurance companies and with primarily with hospitals, and then continuing the conspiracy, convincing parents, primarily women, again, the end of America is going to come from the suicidal tendencies of white women. Single, angry, or mostly single but not married, angry white women. And they began mutilating children, first chemically, then surgically. Now, there were a couple of early cases like what was that jazz kid's name? Remember, they made a TV show out of it. Yeah, it was called Jazz. Oh, look, Jazz. Jazz was a boy, born a boy, right? Born a boy. Born a boy. And as a teenager, began the drug therapies, and that was the Learning Channel or the History Channel or one of those wackos. Began a television show series, and he followed Jazz around as Jazz was going into girls' events and was wearing his wig and was transitioning and was getting his hormones and then surgeries. You can't just say that the doctors were in on this because everyone was in on it. The entertainment industry, the media, the doctors, the scientists, the medical associations, American Academy of Pediatrics comes out and confirms gender-affirming care is something that is so wonderful and healthy for the children. It was on TLC, the jazz show. I Am Jazz. I Am Jazz. No, I am Munchausen by proxy syndrome, victim of my mother, is what the show should have been called. In any event, this has been going on for a decade now, and then yesterday J.D. Vance comes out with a report and says, well, this is actually what has happened, and this is what they were doing. And some of them were actually committing crimes because they were altering codes, billing codes, so that the surgeries could get greenlit by insurance companies who were cutting checks, again, for tens upon tens of thousands of dollars per incident here. This was a money-making racket. At the end of the day, they mutilated these children, and you can't ever recover from this. The puberty-blocking drugs are not recoverable. We told you. We were talking about this 10 years ago here on the Mike Church Show. And now, finally, the truth is being known. I want to know when we're going to start arresting mothers and other parents for child abuse. I think some of these children have cases that they can file against primarily their mothers for damages and to make sure that this never happens again. These women should be locked away in prisons. It should be branded with like scarlet T's. Instead of a scarlet A, a scarlet T for tranny mammy. Sick people. So we're going to talk a lot about this today. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store. Too much to tell you about my Dude Gear Store. Pay it a visit today at shop.mikechurch.com. You can get yourself a handmade by the Montana Mountain Arts Pottery Company Mike Church Show. Today's Friday, so, the weekend begins. Beer, tequila, vodka. You can put milk in it, water stein. Each one is a work of art. Don't forget to get the coffee to put in there. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast. Don't forget your haberdash, your T-shirts, your button-down work shirts, your neckties, and much, much more. Shop with us today, shop.mikechurch.com. So this is a big story today, and it should be, and there should be repercussions. How do you get justice out of this? Be my question. First they came for, you could do the first they came for the lobsters, and I said nothing. First they came for the seafood, and I said nothing. The Muslim advance continues, and so does the lunacy of the DSA. So they're not satisfied with their campaign to exterminate Thanksgiving, because you people should not be giving thanks to anything here in these United States, because we are a racist, oppressive, authoritarian regime whose reign of terror spans centuries, and it needs to come to an end. Now we need to get rid of football. Yes, Al-Sayed has let it be known that he is not a fan of professional, college, high school, Pop Warner football. It is a violent, abusive sport, and it should be brought to an end. It should be brought to an end. So more civilized forms of sport, like soccer, can be played. Gay. So we will talk about this. I don't know what to make about these stories, but I tend to think that they're just that this happens all the time, and that there's not much out of the ordinary. And that's about the sailors trying to jump ship, literally trying to jump ship off aircraft carriers to commit suicide. Ladies and gentlemen, the suicide rate in the United States Armed Forces has been skyrocketing since the Iraq War. So, welcome to the party, pal. There's nothing new here about it. I mean, we'll talk about it, but it's a tragedy of epic proportions, but it's because they're suffering from PTSD. So, lots to talk about here on a free phone Friday. 844-527-8723, the call-in-line telephone number. Welcome in all of you listening on the terrestrial radio stations out there. 990 AM WGSO in New Orleans, 1010 The King in Atlanta. We are live all across America. Glad to have you with us here. We'll be right back on a free phone Friday.
When you hear the noon bells tolling, it's time for Angelus, brought to you by the Crusade Channel.
Hey, it's time for another Cooking with the KingDude Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tip. Pour 1/2 cup beast and butt rub into 1/2 cup brown sugar. Combine the two thoroughly and then put that into a shaker. Now you have the sweetest and spiciest barbecue seasoning on the market. So your wife, who loves sweet, and your Uncle Bobo, who loves butt kicking spicy, are both satisfied with your barbecue, and to them, you are a beast and butt rub Beast Mode champion. Get more of my Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tips and your beast and butt rub today at shop.mikechurch.com. In 1983, ZZ Top made the song And it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena inviting you to join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for our annual conference as we consider oases of sanity in the 21st century. Connect with Mike Church, Charles Colomb, Brother Andre Marie, Commander John Sharp, CJ Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sister Marie Gabrielle, and myself for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie at St. Benedict Center. Register now by going to Catholicism.org/conference. Catholicism.org/conference.
Hey, it's the King Dude. You know, I've spent my life and career in broadcasting building relationships. Relationships with listeners and relationships with clients. And I'm here to tell you that it's rare that I find an advertising client that specializes in building those very same relationships with my listeners. Now, this client deals in one of the most important items you can currently buy. That's why I'm happy and proud to introduce Revelation Gold Group as the official precious metal supplier to the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation. You have a choice in what to listen to and have a choice in where to buy your precious metals. Well, you've chosen the right radio show. Now, choose the right precious metal supplier and go with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold. Start building a precious metal relationship that benefits you and your family for many, many years to come with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold. Hey, it's the King Dude. You know, I've spent my life and career in broadcasting building relationships. Relationships with listeners and relationships with clients. And I'm here to tell you that it's rare that I find an advertising client that specializes in building those very same relationships with my listeners. Now, this client deals in one of the most important items you can currently
come in threes.
That's right, Lee. There's the Three Stooges.
And then there's the Cajun cooking trinity of onions, bell peppers, and celery.
And of course, guys, there's the Holy Trinity.
Now, I'm not comparing my Trinity to the Holy Trinity, but I guarantee you, my Trinity of homemade small batch rubs can put a heavenly smile on your taste buds. And all three come with my 100% money back guarantee. If you don't love and think that my Trinity of beast and butt rub, chicken mamu, and Acadiana steak seasoning aren't the best and most essential spices in your arsenal, I'll buy them back from you.
It may not be holy, King Dude, but that's the best spice and rub deal on this side of heaven.
Order Mike Church's set of Trinity rubs and save big at mikechurch.com/rub. That's one bottle each of beast and butt rub, chicken mamu lemon herb seasoning, and Acadiana steak seasoning for one low price and the King Dude's money back guarantee. Order today at mikechurch.com/rub. Callers to the Mike Church Show receive special parting gifts like wisdom and happiness.
Man, it happened yesterday was Monday, but it was Thursday. Happened again today. It's Friday, but it's Monday again. Man, I tell you, this working 88 hours a week crap is for young people. I'm losing my touch, folks. It's okay, we'll get through it. Coming to you live from the Cooking with the King Dude studio. It's Mike Church Show here on a free phone Friday at 844-527-8723, 844-5-Crusade. I could use some Pac-Man fever right about now. I don't know about you. This portion of the program brought to you by the Haberdashery at mikechurch.com. Haberdashery is not just tuxedos, three-piece suits, and bow ties. A T-shirt with a 35th anniversary Mike Church Show imprint on it is Haberdash. A button-down red cap work shirt with twin pockets and a Crusade Channel 10th anniversary screen print on it is Haberdash. So shop on Haberdashery today at shop.mikechurch.com. And we do have the proselytized neckties and the parquet neckties, but that's not just People think haberdash. Ooh, that's a fancy word. It must mean, no, that's not. It just means men's clothing. So shop with us today and make proper sartorial choices, gentlemen, at shop.mikechurch.com. Third Republican governor calls for investigation into Muslim groups over terrorism concerns. This is not going to go away, and the imams and the nutcase Muslims are not going to let it go away. Here's an interesting little thing. Here's an interesting little tidbit. Maggie O'Connell. Now, was that producer number 3 that came up with that asked the question about the index finger ring on Al Sayed's? Is it a right or left hand? Right hand. Okay. Zoran the Moron, Kami Mamdami, wears one too. All Orthodox Muslim males wear a ring on their right index finger. You can almost use this to ID them. The ring is made out of silver, and then there is a gemstone. Typically black, onyx. So it's typically an onyx. Oh, gee, what a coincidence. A gemstone. What does it mean? It means that they are faithful devotees of Muhammad. You know, so Maggie O'Connell comes and asks me this question. She goes, why is Al Sayed and Zoran Moran, why do they have this ring on their index finger? And I just guessed.
And the other guy, that Hassan Piker.
And Hassan Piker. And you're going to find it on all of them. And I just guessed that. And I said, it's probably, it's the same spirit, if you will, or in the same spirit of Catholics, men included, who wear miraculous Marian medals. And what does that mean? That means you're a devotee, you're a client of Our Lady. Today, by the way, is the vigil of the Assumption. It's appropriate that it happens on a Friday because you're going to fast and do abstinence today anyway. So, built-in vigil. How do you like that? Thank you, Mother Mary. And so just guessing, I said it's probably like wearing a miraculous medal. It's some sort of fealty to the Prophet Muhammad and to the Quran. And she looked it up, and sure enough, that's exactly what it is. So now you know what to look for. So now when someone says, oh, no, he's not practicing taqiyya. No, he's a good Muslim. He just loved, he sponsors the Little League team and bought a billboard on the center field fence. He has to be good. Well, that doesn't mean he's not a terrorist. And that doesn't mean he's not a Wahhabist or a jihadist or that he doesn't believe in the Ummah or the Dhamma or the Doma or that he's not working towards the caliphate, which is what they're all working towards, the caliphate. So now you can ID them. You can say, well, you got the silver ring on, bro. I mean, don't tell it to them. Don't let them know that you have them sussed out. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt has signed an executive order directing state authorities to investigate whether the Muslim Brotherhood, Council on American Islamic Relations, or associated organizations present a terrorism threat. You know, the Mike Church Show, your kind, humble host, the KingDude, was so far out ahead of this issue. CARE, Council on Islamic American Relations. It has always been a front group to normalize Sharia law and Islam and the migration of Muslims and Islamics into the United States. And we were onto this way back in 2006. As a matter of fact, remember we did so many dozens of interviews with Andrew Bizad, remember the Muslim scholar? I interviewed, you can still go to his website. Go to, here, look it up, Maggie. Waleed Shoebat, Shoebat. How many times did I interview Waleed Shoebat back in 2005, 2006, 2007, up in there? Remember my friend, old friend, we're not friends any longer, but he was at the time. Andy McCarthy wrote the book, The Grand Jihad, and he told you about the Muslim Brotherhood meeting in Dallas outside of like a rented hall outside of Dallas, Texas in 1990. So it's the same thing with what's going on in Britain. Oh, this all just began recently. No, they've been planning it for decades, and they've been working at it for decades. So we have been on this Council on American Islamic Relations for quite some time. Look, if you got a problem with AIPAC, you should really have a problem with CARE. So when I say that we have been all over this for the longest time, how many of you stick around and listen to the end of the Mike Church Show every day when we play the Red, White, and Dude Nation closer? What's in the lyrics? If you haven't heard it,
he's got the truth on his side.
This is 2006.
Liberals can run, but they'll never hide. He's a friend
all right, it's coming
up. Mr. Madison as he fights all leftisms. He supports our troops.
Here it comes.
There. Stands up to the kooks from CARE.
Stands up to the kooks from CARE. Now, these people were nasty. Yep. You stand up to the kooks from CARE and they put fatwas out on you. They mean business. Take the threat of Islam very seriously. Now, there was no country, no kingdom in all of old Christendom that was not on constant vigil and constant watch on the lookout for an invasion of the Mohammedans. Whatever form they came in, Mohammedans, Janissaries, Ottomans, Saracens, whatever form they came in, why do you think they built walls around cities like Vienna? Built walls around cities like that because they knew that there would, somebody's going to say, they were just protecting from the Vikings and the Goths. And that may have been true at some point in time, but they also fortified them knowing that the one way to keep the Mohammedans out. And by the way, the wall actually worked in Vienna. It did keep them out and gave John Sobieski the time to get to actually get to to get to Vienna, and for he and his winged corsairs to save the city with that heroic charge that we're going to talk about next hour. As a matter of fact, on this day in history, and I'll tell you all about it next hour. I'll fill you in on this glorious history. The King of Poland, Jan Sobieski, one of the four Don Johns, Don John Sobieski, on this day in, I think it's 1571, or maybe it's 15. I should know the date. I should have it memorized. On this date, in that year, in the 16th century, Jan Sobieski had raised his army of Polish mercenaries, basically, but they were Catholic mercenaries. And he had told them that they were going to battle the Mohammedans, the Ottomans, and they were going to drive them from Austria, from Christendom. But that's why the army was organized. You know what they were doing on this day and that year? They had gone to Częstochowa, say a small town in Poland, and this is where you get, and you'll see the painting. It's one of the Black Madonnas, as they call it. That's where you'll find the painting that is said to have been painted by St. Luke, the apostle himself, of Mother Mary from life, that she posed for it, and that's the Black Madonna. Now, when you ever see a painting of the Black Madonna and you go like, well, what's with all the gilded and stuff on it? There's a painting of the Madonna, and then the Poles decorate it with, basically, they put the clothing on her. It's exterior to the painting. It's beautiful. So Sobieski and his boys are meeting today in Czestochowa. They're on their way to Czestochowa. They're probably going to get there. And Sobieski is going to tell his men today on the vigil of the Assumption of Our Blessed Lady, you're going to get right with God because we're going into battle against the Mohammedans. It's a magnificent story. And the story of the saving of Vienna, and at the end of the siege of Vienna, so it begins today, and then tomorrow, on August the 15th, all these Poles are going to go to Mass, and they're going to get the Blessed Sacrament. They're told today, you're going to go to confession here, and you're going to all of you are going to get ready, and then tomorrow they're going to go to Mass, and then they're going to march to Vienna, and then the rest, as they say, is history. On September the 11th of that year is when they arrive, and that's when the battle is. That's why the Mohammedans chose September the 11th to bomb the World Trade Centers. Interesting little piece of history that you probably didn't know. Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. Wherever you may be listening to us out there, welcoming all of you listening on 990 AM WGSO and 1010 WXKG in Atlanta. We are in market number 6 here. So we're in 2 top 50 markets here on the Mike Church Show, and welcoming all of you listening on YouTube and on Substack and on Rumble and X, and of course on our app at crusadechannel.com/app. So you got a super chat going today. So that's at youtube.com/@RealKingDude. So the goal is 5, and you already got 2, but it's 2. It's 2 of your regulars, right? You got Nancy Brady and Jeff Johnson. I miss you. Oh, well, don't worry. Jeff Johnson will go in and bail you out. So she needs 3 more to accomplish her super chat for the day on the YouTube and in the YouTube chat. So back to the story. Oklahomans expect their government to take terrorism seriously and to act before threats become tragedies. Tragedies! So Stitt said in a statement 2 days ago, my administration will use every lawful tool available to protect our people, defend our values, and make sure taxpayer-funded state resources are never used to support terrorism or those who enable it. The executive order underscores Oklahoma's existing responsibilities under the Oklahoma Homeland Security Act and the Oklahoma Anti-Terrorism Act, which requires the state to prevent terrorist acts, identify threats, and to prepare to respond. Can I ask a question? If Oklahoma has a Homeland Security Act and Oklahoma Anti-Terrorism Act, that kind of sounds like they're a country, doesn't it? It kind of sounds like they have decided that they need to protect, it's their responsibility in the first instance to protect their people. Doesn't it sound like that? I would almost think that they're like, like Belgium. That they have some kind of sovereign power. But Mike, come on, that can't be. That's better turn play. That can't be there. No, the federal government control everything. Does it? Imagine that you had 50 separate departments of Homeland Insecurity and 50 separate agencies that were running their own departments of Homeland Security with varying sizes and varying policies and intelligence gathering rules and laws and agents and what have you. Would that make for a safer homeland than trying to have a one-size-fits-all in Mordor on the Potomac? Wouldn't these Homeland Security officers and agents have to answer directly to the people of Oklahoma? instead of pretending to answer indirectly to a member of the House of Representatives who doesn't give a rat's furry behind about them. And if they are residents of that state, then they're kind of can be called into action, and they can be like militiamen. Then, now, the Second Amendment really comes into effect. Well-regulated militia, they got one in Oklahoma, they got anti-terrorism. You see how that works? Why aren't other members of the alleged right-wing media talking about this in the manner in which your kind, humble host just delivered it to you? Because they don't have the knowledge of it, and they don't want to. The people that are paying and sponsoring those programs have no desire to share that kind of intel with you because that might ruin their party and dry up one source of their funding. But this is, to me, Oklahoma, to me, seems to be doing it correctly. Neither the statement or the executive order addresses what prompted the timing of the order. Muslims. El Sayed. DSA wackos. Marauding around the American countryside, threatening to cancel Thanksgiving, bring football games to an end, make everything free. The head to toe hijab is coming. They're going to get to that. Speaking of things that are coming, can you pull up the debt clock? I want to show everybody something. We're about to accomplish an amazing thing here in these United States, and the Mike Church Show wishes to make all of you aware of it. So let us go to the U.S. Debt Clock website. And let us look at, look at that.
It's pretty.
Isn't it? It's so pretty. Oh, look at all the numbers that are moving. Oh, it's so cool. Can you focus in on the 39 trillion national debt block? There you go. See that one right there? We're about to hit the milestone of $40 trillion. I know you can't even imagine what 1 trillion is, but we're about to hit the milestone of $40 trillion. How much is that? $40 trillion.
That is $359,714 per taxpayer.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my share. Can't wait to get my bill in the mail. Oh, I just got my national debt statement in the mail. $359,000. This is an irresponsibility that is so large you can't even measure it. It's not even measured. No one can conceive. Most middle-class people cannot conceive of $39,000 because most middle-class people have less than $3,900 in this thing called a savings account. So Maggie told me this today. She goes, we're at 39 trillion and just a couple $100 billion away from 40 trillion. I'm like, so you're saying there's a chance? So you're saying we could get there by the end of August? Hey, yay! Nothing is being done. Nothing is being done about this. That is an outrage, my friends. This portion of the program brought to you by the Cooking with the KingDude, folks. Now, this big weekend coming up here, so all weekends are big. Tomorrow's the Feast of the Assumption. You're going to go to Mass afterwards. Treat yourself. You can barbecue some pork ribs. I got you covered. Beast and butt rub. You can do up a sirloin. I got you covered. Acadiana steak seasoning. You can roast a whole chicken. I got you covered. Chicken mamu. My rubs come with money-back guarantees. I have yet to have to issue a refund. So stock up today. And look, football season's coming. A lot of you go to do the tailgating thing, or maybe just hang out at the house and enjoy your favorite college team's action on Saturday or your pro team's action on Sunday. Stock up on my rubs at shop.mikechurch.com. Tell me I sent you. Stitt's statement, back to the terrorism thing. Stitt's statement noted that the federal government has designated Hamas, which emerged from the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. Quote, Oklahoma will not turn a blind eye to organizations or networks that may support terrorism. The order falls short of following in the footsteps of governors in Texas and Florida who designated both organizations as terrorist groups. Interesting that all these designations are happening, but is it largely these Muslims? It's a religion of peace, Mike. Everyone needs to know that the Prophet was peaceful. Look, we got 2 hours left to go and a lot to talk about here. Lake Mead is almost dry. We'll talk about that. This portion of the program has been brought to you by the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. See you in a few.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena. Is your home an oasis of sanity? Where do you find peace? Join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for our annual conference as we consider Oases of Sanity in the 21st Century. Connect with Mike Church, Charles Coulombe, Brother Andre Marie, Commander John Sharp, C.J. Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sister Marie Gabrielle, and myself for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie at St. Benedict Center. Register now by going to Catholicism.org/conference. That's Catholicism.org/conference.
Informative, encouraging, and inspirational. Atlanta's newest talk radio is AM 1010, The King.
The Crusade Channel, your talk podcast and Fiorella Files station.
Fiorella is the literary savage who skips sensitivity training. She is the librarian who reads and reviews books so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to the Fiorella Files. On my show, I will be introducing you to books, classic and contemporary, that you must read, should enjoy reading, or should not touch with an 11-foot barge pole.
10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Monday on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to mikechurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's mikechurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's mikechurch.com/dude.
What's your idea of an oasis of sanity? As things go more insane in this messed up world, maybe it's time you consider that question. Join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for St. Benedict Center's annual conference. Our theme will be Oases of Sanity in the 21st Century. This is Brother Andre Marie of Reconquest. Join Charles Colomb, Commander John Sharp, CJ Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sisters Maria Filomena and Marie Gabrielle, and me for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie. Go to Catholicism.org/conference, Catholicism.org/conference.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
The Mike Church Show, combining the best of the politics from the era of surround sound. With the 2026 revelation that when it comes to politics and scams like MAGA, we're all screwed. But like grape knee-high made with real sugar in a real glass bottle, we make throwback a go-back.
Too bad real women don't come with these, huh?
Come with 500-watt 8-channel discrete amplifiers, THX receiver sold separately.
Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins', I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years, and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m., mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com. In 1983, ZZ Top made the song and it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com.
Call 844-527-8723. Holding a PhD for the KingDude Center for Constitutional Studies is not just an honor, it's a way of life. The Mike Church Show is heard exclusively on the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hey, guys. You got a minute?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's about my dad. He wants to have a sex change operation.
Whoa, I knew he was gay. I didn't think he was that gay.
No, Peter, he's not gay. He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Yeah, gay.
It's totally different.
Sounds the same.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Well, look, let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
He has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support.
All right, but look, here's the deal. Anything he lops off, we get to bring home for Brian.
That's very green of you, Peter.
Let's do it! You gotta beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock.
You can boogie, love disco, love that disco sound. Move on your body, spinning round and round. But don't forget, oh no. Don't forget, oh no. The stars on 45 keep on turning in your mind. But we can work it out. Remember, twist the shout. You still not tell me why and no reply.
Sugar.
Honey.
You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
Hi, how you doing?
Honey. Sugar.
Performing this show with 99.96% of my testosterone tied behind my back just to make it a fair fight in the war against the Mohammedans and the suicidal tendencies of single, near barren, angry, ugly cat ladies. It's Mike Churchill here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network, coming to you live from the Revelation Gold Group studio, the official gold and silver and precious metal supplier of the Mike Church Show, Revelation Gold Group. Find them hiding in plain sight at mikechurch.com/gold. mikechurch.com/gold. You know, this is to that end. Let me learn you something. Somebody on X was asking a question about, okay. If a guy was making minimum wage in 1971 and was somehow able to make out some sort of an existence or a living, could the same minimum wage provide a similar subsistence today? Would your money still have the same purchasing power? And so the question was asked, and I'm going to give you the answer. But people were asking the question the wrong way. Because you don't want the answer or the problem challenged or solved by using government formulas, because that's what the CPI is. They manipulate the CPI. If you use the CPI, you're going to go, your friend in 1971, your minimum wage friend in 1971, is going to have almost the identical purchasing power in 1971 that he has today. Why? Because they rigged the stat that way. You can't have economists running around saying that what has actually happened. Now, if you conduct the exact same experiment or the exact same question, and you conduct it and use the price of gold, now, brother, sister, mister, 1971 minimum wage $1.60 per hour. Annual wage $3,328. Gold was $35 an ounce. It was set at Bretton Woods And you would need 95.09 ounces of the gold shiny stuff to be equivalent. Okay? The 2026 equivalent, let's run the number in 2026. The hourly minimum wage is the average is $19.85. If you ran that out, that would be in gold. If you need 95 ounces of gold, you would need to make $413,000 a year. Now, does anyone think that the currency hasn't been debased? Yeah, when you put it in the proper perspective, you walk away with the proper conclusion, and that is that if you use gold as a measure, and why wouldn't you? Then and you ran the number correctly. Again, you need to make $413,000 today. Can anyone show me? That's if any of them are actually working at McDonald's or well, they don't even pay minimum wage anymore. Who pays minimum wage? It's like illegal. You get drummed out of political variety in their cocktail parties. So I just wanted to make the point because I see a lot of people on X and other places trying to make this point about wage. No, the wages are TKD. The wages have kept up. No, they haven't. That's just not true. And I don't know why people want to run around and say that the wages have kept up because they haven't. Okay. On Monday's show, on Tuesday's show, we talked about there was a column by Rod Dreher, and I had shared it with you, and he had linked to a piece by Janice Famianga. Janice had responded to Rachel Drucker's screed in the New York Times about why there are no good men left out there, and how come men have dropped out and they aren't asking Rachel Drucker out for a date. Well, I can answer that question if you really want me to. But Janice Famianga answered the question on her Substack. And this is where we found, and I told you, I never knew this existed before. Janice said, well, these women are responsible for this. The feminist women are responsible for this. They act like, just a bunch of innocent damsels in distress now. And as part of her response to Drucker, she went, "You and your kind gave us the book Scum." Remember me sharing the book Scum with you? And I went, wait, where has this been hiding? Well, okay, the book is Society for Cutting Up Men Manifesto by Valerie Solanas. And so we shared some of this with you, and we talked about it and about how, well, the plot, maybe there is a plot, but it wasn't instigated by men. It was instigated and begun by women. And I said, I'm going to tell Carrie, I'm going to send this to Carrie Gress, because she is my go-to on this. And I even said she probably already knows about it, and of course she did. So Carrie's on the Dude Maker hotline here with us. Mrs. Gress, a blessed Friday vigil of the Assumption of our Blessed Lady. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am well, and tomorrow we will celebrate the Feast of the Assumption, which is
fantastic.
Yes, fantastic. So I had to ask you, in all the conversations that you and I have had, dozens, you never brought the book up, Scum.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why. I mean, it's so pleasant and edifying and wonderful. It is, and I do talk about Scum in which at the End of Woman. I talk about Scum. I think it's in that book. It's kind of one of those things that's just hard to believe, like that there really is this manifesto about cutting up men that actually got published. I mean, it was featured in Robin Morgan's book, that The Sisterhood is Powerful. And I think it's that book is one of those books that people might reference, but they don't really want to read it because it's just so awful. It's got spells in it for everyday occasions. It's got Scum references. It's got a lot of wild stuff in it. And it was kind of a candy box for me to be able to pull content from, because it sold so many books. It was so popular. And it was just so awful. You know, it's unbelievably awful that this was a published book that had sold so many copies. So I think there's this whole underworld that, you know, normal people don't know about that has been existing among feminists for a very long time. And, you know, when someone like you finds that, you're like, this is abhorrent. Like, how do people get away with this? And yet, you know, it's just one of many examples of just the craziness that you get from the feminists.
Well, the thing that the older ones that are responsible for this are like looking back on their life now, going like, "I didn't do that. No, I'm not responsible for this carnage." And like Rachel Drucker, and basically trying to like pass the blame off on me. Like I had something, I didn't have anything to do with it. I love women.
Right. Yeah. No, it's I mean, that's kind of the amazing thing is that, like, they can sow all of this awfulness, and then they're sort of surprised that awfulness has resulted from it. So, yeah, it's really a mess. But I think once you sort of start, and actually, the amazing thing is that it's the older women who have kind of figured out what's going on, but they keep selling it. And you see this. There was an article in the New Statesman that was done back in April that was talking about something like meet the new angry single women or something like that. Like, it's the fullness of this idea of, you know, the feminism has been inculcating. You know, it's now called heteropessimism, where women just don't think they'll get married. They don't want to get married. They don't see any reason to get married. You know, that's the fullness of it. And then when you have women sort of hit this 50, 60-year-old situation, they look around and they're alone and can't figure out why their life doesn't look the way they expected it to. That's when they start asking questions. But of course, it's way too late to be creating a family at that point. So it's really tragic, just the whole trajectory and what we've bought into, especially in our early years. And then, you know, you kind of hit this wall, and the realization, like, what Rachel Drucker is having, you know, comes to light.
Well, and the New York Times put this on the homepage of their website, and they put it on the front page in the print edition of the Opinions on a Sunday. I mean, it's the most widely circulated day, most widely circulated day of newspaper distribution. So they wanted people to see it, obviously, and and they kind of lionized Rachel Drucker. I didn't, and I read. I suffered through like 5 paragraphs. But I'm not reading any more of this. I don't want to read the rest of it here. But then when I read Janice Fiamingo, when I read Janice, I'm like, hey, she knows. She actually knows. And so I wrote you, and you go like, oh yeah, Janice is an ally. She's an ally. I guess she's been in this fight, for, or in this manner, or this particular discussion for quite some time.
Yeah, she actually predates me even, which, you know, I go back 10 years. She was doing YouTube videos starting in like 2012, 2013. And I didn't find out about her until after my book, The End of Woman, was published. I happened upon her work through Tammy and Jordan Peterson. But, yeah, she's the real deal. And, you know, she had been a professor in Canada. And you can imagine, you know, she realized, actually, she gave this whole lovely presentation on feminism, and then she sat back and realized, like, how did the young men in my class take that? And that was a real catalyst for her change and her, you know, looking into the issues. And so she's definitely been fighting this for a long time. She has a new book out. But I think she's on to something that, and very early on, that I've been finding in spades, is that, you know, the reality is that the feminism has an anthropology. We in the West and among Christians hopefully have an anthropology of male and female, and it goes back to Genesis. It's this idea that man was created in the image and likeness of God, meant to multiply, serve one another. You know, we sort of have a sense of what that vision is. But feminism came along and just completely inverts that, and the anthropological vision of feminism going back to the 1800s, and even before 1792, when Mary Wollstonecraft sort of crafted it, is this idea that men are contemptible and women should be just like them. It's this very bizarre, you know, 2 lies that have been melded together, and you see it in spades. So you can see this in Rachel Drucker, you know, all of this oozing contempt for men and just this effort to manipulate them and abuse them. Meanwhile, she's trying to be just like them, and not good men, but bad men, being promiscuous and focused on her career. And then she can't figure out, like, well, where are good men? After she spent this whole lifetime trying to destroy men, and treating men with contempt. So I think that's the realization that many women are having, is like, you can't. Something happens when you treat other people contemptuously. Like, they don't want to be around you.
No.
Imagine that. And that's the wild thing too, is just how much feminism has stirred up women's emotions and really made them think that not being nice actually is how you win the day. And of course, no one wants to be around awful, vile women. So it's a funny thing to start seeing, like, okay, people are figuring this out. Like, maybe if you could just be nice,
well,
you might have people come back into your life.
Okay, I don't know if you saw this, but there was an interview the other day. Actress Allison Janney was on with Monica Lewinsky, and she's you did see it?
I did not see it. Mm-mm.
But let me save you the trouble. You don't need to see it. I'll fill you in. So this is a 50-something-year-old actress that she recounts about how she had like two opportunities in her life to get married and have children, and that the loneliness of discovering that he wasn't going to be the right one, and and I think about the loneliness that he gave me. I'm like, no. You are lonely. You chose loneliness. You chose it. And now you look back on it, and what an irony. She's talking to Monica Lewinsky, the homewrecker. And I'm going, like, this is a crap show here. But it had hundreds of thousands of views and lots of little likes on Blue Sky, and all the women were like, oh, this is such a great show. I feel so much better. You feel so much better about being barren and unable to do anything about it?
No, it's really wild. I mean, I think that I have a deep compassion, because I think women have bought into this so unwittingly. Like, they just have no idea what it is that they've been sold. And I actually just wrote a piece published yesterday on my Substack about how we've really confused, using philosophical terms, we've really confused the accidents with the substance when it comes to women. Like, we're very excited about all of these things that are kind of, none of these things you can point to and say, oh, now we finally have women, whether it's a bank account or wearing cheap pants or, all the things I hear about all day that I'm supposed to be upset about. Those are all accidents. Those are all non-essentials of what it means to be a woman. But what is essential? Oh, wait, fertility, motherhood, like all the things that we've wiped out through, pills and education and, all the things that we were paying attention to. And this is why the WNBA can't figure out what a woman is, because they think that if you just put on a dress, that somehow you are a woman. Again, back to the accidents, back to those non-essentials of, if you look the part, then it must mean you play the part. So I think that's philosophically such a deep problem that we have, is we've mixed up the essentials with the non-essentials and inverted those. And that's what we're seeing here, is just women have been told that they need to pursue the career, they need to pursue autonomy, they need to be in control. And, what happens when you meet someone that you want to marry or consider marrying, all of a sudden you lose control of your life. You have to wait for them to ask you to marry them. You have to be, and then, of course, it gets even worse when, how much control do you not have when you are pregnant?
Right.
And then you have to raise this child. Like, it requires a certain amount of surrender and openness to the gift of other people. And all of that is what feminism just cannot abide by, because it really is about power and control. It's not about Christian virtues of humility, surrender, trust, love, sacrifice. It really is about control. And I think that's, the saddest part is that women who are, we see are the kind of this gateway of life. Like, it's either one way or another. You're bringing life or you're destroying life. And of course, we're seeing now what happens when you destroy life on this massive scale. You've got one option or the other. You can't really remain neutral on it.
Now, let me just switch gears real quick, and we only have a couple of minutes left, and I know you got to go. Carrie Gress, our favorite feminist, anti-feminist author, or actual pro-woman author.
Pro-woman.
Pro-woman author. Let me get it right.
I don't want that word in my name at all.
It's Friday. I was up late last night working on my book. I had to send Carrie a copy. Quickly to the WNBA. Okay, so what happens is you have a Catholic girl, a young woman who's raised Catholic. She is Catholic. She acts Catholic. You have a young girl who was raised Protestant as a farm girl Protestant. These two, with Christian virtues their whole life, go into the WNBA, and every black woman in that league wants to kill them. Now think about what has
white
been.
Women too, actually. Don't forget the coaches.
Yes, and the white women lesbians. Now think about what has been done to the black woman since the sex revolution. Baby daddy is only 23% of all black children born in America today. 23. So is it any surprise that they hate cultured, Christian, Catholic, white girls, or even black girls that come into their presence?
Yeah. No, the book to read that just came out in June is Delano Squires. He's at the Heritage Foundation. It's called The Vanishing Black Family. And the subtitle, I can't remember the word for word, but it's something about how welfare and feminism have left children vulnerable, or I can't remember. Anyway, it's an excellent, excellent book describing all of that, like, how the black family survived slavery, and yet it could not survive the sexual revolution, feminism, and the welfare state. It's excellent. And I think that gets to the heart of the problem is this ideology. People think feminism has just been about what's, trying to help women. It's what's good for women. And then you realize, oh, wait, it's actually the same ideology as communism and socialism. It's about power. It's about control. It's about getting rid of faith. It's getting rid of family. There's something very disordered about it. And that's what I think people need to start really realizing is this is not some go girl, what's good for women vision. It's really it's tribal too. I think that's the other fascinating thing about looking at the WNBA is someone mentioned earlier that in the NBA race kind of melts away. Everybody's just playing and doing the best that they can, and that there's not racial tensions there, or even tensions among tribes. I mean, the lesbians versus the heteros, or the gay men versus that's just not an issue in the NBA. But in the WNBA, it absolutely is, because the women are tribal. We sort of have a pack of people that we identify with and we want to stick with. And that's why feminism has been so successful, is that the feminists and the those controlling the narrative have made it very appealing and very broad and attractive to young women, that young women feel like, oh, this is my tribe. It's these cool people.
Right.
And the bad people, the baddies are those, awful faith, doormats. And we've got to avoid those people.
And
yeah, it's a mess.
Well, but the dichotomy is so, it's just so in your face. Now, I think to maybe to their business-minded credit, I think the WNBA is ginning this up and they want it to happen. This is like pro wrestling. I think they hired Linda McMahon or McMahon's husband just didn't tell us. I think that the people behind pro wrestling are now just behind the WNBA. It makes sense to me. But if I'm Caitlin and sweet and just she's so gritty, little Sophie Cunningham, like, you know what? I'll go to Europe. I get to play against white women who don't want to kill me, and they're going to pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and I get to go eat in the finest restaurants and stay in the nicest places. It is a testament to Caitlin, and I'm sure what happened to Sophie eventually. It's a testament to those two that they stay in the United States and play in an American league, because if they really just wanted to cash in like they're being accused of, they'd go to Europe.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. I think, the moral courage that those two young women have is really remarkable, especially when you just look at how dumb, what it is that they're fighting. Like, they just want women to be women. They don't want trans men. It's just, these things are so the bread and butter of American culture, and the fact that these are being called into question on this national scale, this huge stage. I think it's just phenomenal, and it's almost a parody. It is a parody. It's
it is a
joke
parody.
the WNBA is just having a debate, a closed door meeting about what it means to be a woman. You can't make that up. You cannot make that up.
The WWENBA, that's what I think we need to call it. And besides the fact that Caitlin Clark is, and I know you're not a sports, we don't have to talk sports, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. She is a Pistol Pete Maravich as a female. I mean, she is just stunningly good basketball player. If there have been a couple of women who may have been able to actually compete in male sports, and many of them never actually did. Annika Stormston flirted with the idea about 20 years ago in the PGA. They went, okay, fine, we'll invite you into an invitational, one tournament. She didn't even make the cut. Caitlin Clark is not going to go to the NBA because she won't make the cut. You should be happy where you're at. But she is just an extraordinary talent. And basketball has never seen anything like her since Pete Maravich. I mean, she's that good. So it's just it's a shame to see all this being done to her. Carrie Gress, I'm going to let Carrie get back to her busy life and her many, many children. You're up to 5 now, right?
I got 5.
5! Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And I didn't know you were on Substack. I would have been following you. It's the day you got on. You should have said.
Oh goodness! Well, thank you. I've actually just started putting some effort into it. It's been kind of a slow burn, just sort of a great place to just put ideas up that I don't think need to go elsewhere. So anyway, but now I'm going to put some energy into it. So please do find KingDude.substack.com.
I've been on Substack for 6 years now. Let me tell you something. The smart people are on Substack. Smart people that don't want editors that control them, and editors that go like, yeah, it's not. Put in 3 more paragraphs of DEI. You don't have to do that. The Michael Schellenbergers.
Yeah, I mean, after 25 years of publishing, I feel like I'm a pretty good editor. I was an editor at a certain point. So anyway, it's nice to be able to have that freedom and be able to post what I want, long or short. That's the other thing is you usually get cut off around 1,000 words.
Right.
So if it's got something longer, it's a real problem. So yeah, go ahead, go check out my piece on The Devil Wears Prada and feminism's deal with the devil. It was really fun to write, and I think it's got some insights in there that I've never seen anywhere else.
I'm looking.
People have probably made them, but I haven't seen them.
I'm looking right at it with our favorite Italian wannabe chef, Stanley Tucci, there in the foreground.
Yeah.
Don't watch him in the movies. Watch his cooking show. Yes, He's great on cooking. When he goes to Italy, watch him when he goes to Italy.
Yeah. Just don't listen to him about the politics. And
no.
Stuff, absolutely. Yeah. He's great.
Well, Carrie, it's funny. It's really funny because, he could be one of these left-hard, pro-feminist or fake feminism, rather. But when he's in his kitchen, I mean, he can't lift, he can't pick up the half-cup measuring device without his wife going like, you're holding it wrong.
Oh, that is hysterical.
Stanley, turn that around. You got it backwards. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's such an endearing little show. It's so funny. And then he goes and visits with all the Italian nonas, who have 12 kids and 100 grandkids.
No, I actually pitched to my local Italian restaurant. I said, you should make a dinner that people can order in advance when they're going to watch the show, because all you do is get hungry when you watch the show, and you want food.
That's right.
So yeah, order it in advance. You get it, pick it up, binge watch that, and just have a great meal.
That's a great idea. All right, she is at carriegress.substack.com. All right. Always good to talk to you. Thanks for answering my call and still responding to me after 10 years. She still responds to me.
My pleasure. You're the only interviewer I keep a pen and paper with. You're always going to tell me something I don't know. So, anyway, it's great. Right. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. God bless you. Vigil of the Assumption, and tomorrow Feast of the Assumption.
And Colby today. It's a great.
Oh, that's right, St. Maximilian,
don't forget
the modern Marian apostle. That's right.
It's big.
That's right. All right, Carrie. God bless.
Thanks
Mary
so
keep
much.
you. Thank you.
You too.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Folks, we gotta go. This portion of the program was brought to you by, and I forgot to tell you, Capuchin Holy Roast Coffee. Get your bag or 16 today at shop.mikechurch.com. Don't forget the Manchipia Maria cigars while you're there. Hey, Mondays is Manchipia Maria Cigar Day in the Stowe. And yes, there is a special deal that you can take advantage of, but why wait? Go and shop with us today at shop.mikechurch.com. Okay, I extended that segment just a wee bit, and we'll get caught back up on the clock and be right back with you.
The Crusade Channel and the Slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. The death of Our Lady in the year 58. This feast is lovingly called the Dormition, the sleep of Our Lady. For although she really and truly died, Mary's death lasted for only 40 hours, the same length of time as our Lord's death. Then, with her body incorrupt, Mary was restored to life and assumed body and soul into heaven. The apostles, with the exception of St. James, who had died, and of St. Thomas, who was brought later, were all miraculously transported from the parts of the world where they were preaching to attend the death of Our Lady in Jerusalem, when she gave up her immaculate and spotless soul to God. St. Timothy, St. Denis the Areopagite, and St. Hierotheus, his friend, were also brought miraculously to Our Lady's bedside. Just before Mary died, she was given the Blessed Eucharist, the body and soul which she had given to him when she conceived him at Nazareth. Our Lady was buried reverently by the apostles at the foot of Mount Olivet, just below the place where our Lord had sweated blood. Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. August 14th, Saint Athanasia and Saint Maximilian Maria Kolbe. Saint Athanasia died in the year 860. She was a Greek widow and abbess on an Aegean island. Athanasia's husband of 2 weeks was killed fighting the Saracens. She remarried, and her second husband decided to become a monk. Athanasia agreed and converted her home into a convent where many courageous Catholic girls went and lived as nuns. They called St. Athanasia their abbess. St. Maximilian Maria Kolbe was killed in the year 1941. He was a Polish Franciscan priest completely dedicated to Our Lady. Born as Raymond Kolbe on January 8, 1894 in the Kingdom of Poland, part of the Russian Empire, he became a Polish conventual Franciscan and a martyr in the German death camp of Auschwitz during World War II. St. Maximilian Kolbe was very active in promoting the Immaculate Virgin Mary and is known as the Apostle of Consecration to Mary. Much of his life was strongly influenced by a vision he had of the Virgin Mary when he was 12. Quote, "That night I asked the Mother of God what was to become of me. Then she came to me holding 2 crowns, one white, the other red. She asked me if I were willing to accept either of these crowns. The white one meant that I should persevere in purity, and the red that I should become a martyr. I said that I would accept them both." End quote. 1 year after his vision, Kolbe and his elder brother Francis joined the conventual Franciscans. In 1910, Kolbe was given the religious name Maximilian after being allowed to enter the novitiate, and in 1911 he professed his first vows. At the age of 21, Kolbe earned a doctorate in philosophy from the Pontifical Gregorian University. He would also earn a doctorate in theology by the time he was 28. Saint Maximilian organized the Militia Immaculata, the Army of the Immaculate One. St. Maximilian Maria Kolbe died on August 14th, and his remains were cremated on August 15th, the same day as the Assumption of Our Lady. St. Maximilian Maria Kolbe and St. Athanasia, pray for us. To hear all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. To learn more about our sisters and contribute to the building of our convent, visit stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless, and Mary keep you.
Hey, it's the King Dude. You know, I've spent my life and career in broadcasting building relationships with listeners and relationships with clients. And I'm here to tell you that it's rare that I find an advertising client that specializes in building those very same relationships with my listeners. Now, this client deals in one of the most important items you can currently buy. That's why I'm happy and proud to introduce Revelation Gold Group as the official precious metal supplier to the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation. You have a choice in what to listen to and have a choice in where to buy your precious metals. Well, you've chosen the right radio show. Now, choose the right precious metal supplier and go with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold. Start building a precious metal relationship that benefits you and your family for many, many years to come with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold.
Thursday Night Throwdown is the closest thing to a democracy a radio station can get. So vote with your keyboard or phone. Enjoy the Throwdown Crew. Season 2 new episodes debut September 3rd, so mark your King Dude calendars and begin the anticipation. Thursday Night Throwdown is exclusively heard on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network's Crusade channel.
King Size Truth
from radio-sized speakers. The answer to Paula Cole's unanswered prayers. The Mike Church Show, inflaming the courage needed to love and raise cowboys since 1992. Exclusively on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network's Crusade channel.
King Size Truth
from radio-sized speakers. Hairy armpits and single cat lady status sold separately.
I do feel, Reg, that any anti-imperialist group like ours must reflect such a divergence of interest within its power base.
Agreed. Francis? Yeah, I think Judith's point of view is very valid, Reg, provided the movement never forgets that it is the unalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself. Agreed. Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I think you finished. Oh, right. Furthermore, it is the birthright of every man or woman. Why don't you shut up about women, Stan? You're putting us off. Women have a perfect right to play a part in our movement, Reg. Why are you always on about women, Stan? I want to be one. What? I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta. What? It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies. You want to have babies? It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them. But you can't have babies. Don't you oppress me. I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry. What's the point? What? What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies? It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression. Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
Mr. Blue. And the baby Groot. Groot, get out of here!
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide.
The Blessed Vigil of the Solemnity of the Assumption of Mary tomorrow. On this day in 1683, I'm going to tell you all about what Jan Sobieski, the King of Poland, did to save Vienna and the rest of Christendom from the invading Mohammedan Ottoman hordes. But in the meantime, coming to you live from the Revelation Gold Group Studios, so Mike Church here with you on a free phone Friday. You can call the show anywhere in America. The telephone number is 844-527-8723, 844-5-Crusade. Congratulations to Mrs. O'Connell, whose super chat has been accomplished. See, it is birthday week. That's 3 super chats for you this week. I think you need to set them higher. Higher. Dream big. Do you really want that really oak cask aged bottle of tequila?
No such thing. What are you talking about?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. She doesn't like oak though.
I hate oak.
There is such a thing as oak cask aged tequila. You try to mimic what happens to bourbon. In any event, follow us on YouTube at the KingDude, youtube.com/@the KingDude. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Nation membership service at mikechurch.com/join. Become a Dude Nation member today, and you get the stream 24/7 in full, beautiful stereo. And too many other benefits to mention. The Crusader Stadium troll-free chat room. You get that. You get access, depending on what level you're at, to the daily podcast, commercial-free. Very soon, the daily video stream, which is streaming live on YouTube and on Rumble and on Substack today. And the transcripts in the program, a discount in the Dude Gear store. Special features, there are too many of them to mention, but the last one that we did was in July 17th, Permission to Die. That's yours for free if you're a gold level Dude Nation member. So maybe you're at a silver level today or just a basic upgrade at mikechurch.com/dude. So here's the account, or one of the accounts, of what happened on this day in 1683, as the Ottomans had laid siege on July the 14th to the city of Vienna. This is according to, I have a couple of different versions here. I'm just going to do this today. We're going to do the actual big feast day on September the 11th and the 12th. This is Steve Weidenkopf at Catholic Answers. As soon as news reached King Leopold that the Turks were on the move, he reached out to his allies and begged them to come to the aid of Vienna. Jan Sobieski, the King of Poland, that's who I call Don John of Poland, so he's the 4th Don John. Jan Sobieski of Poland, and a devout Catholic, responded to his treaty obligations and raised a relief army. He left Warsaw with an army of 20,000 men, mostly cavalry, on the way to Krakow, where the rest of his troops were ordered to assemble. Along the march, Sobieski stopped to pray at the shrine of Our Lady of Czestochowa, entrusting the success of his military efforts to the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary. He began his army's march to Vienna on the solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, 15 August 1683. His forces were buoyed by the knowledge that Pope Innocent XI had granted the crusading plenary indulgence to all who fought for the defense and relief of Vienna. And then if you go to the Catholic Encyclopedia, you get just a little bit different of a version of these events, where they say that, let me see, I got to find it here. Okay. They say, though dissuaded by Louis XIV, whose policy was always hostile to Austria, Sobieski hesitated not an instant. Meanwhile, the Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa had arrived before Vienna and laid siege to the city, defended by the valiant imperial general Count Stromberg, with a garrison of only 15,000 men, exposed to the horrors of disease and fire, as well as to hostile attacks. Sobieski started to the rescue in August, taking his son James with him. Passing by Our Lady's sanctuary at Czestochowa, the troops prayed for a blessing on their arms, and in the beginning of September, having crossed the Danube and joined forces with the German armies under John George, Elector of Saxony, and Prince Charles of Lorraine, they approached Vienna. And then I'll tell you the rest of the story on the feast of Our Lady's name. That's September the 12th. And, of course, the battle takes place on September the 11th. So we'll catch you up on all that on September the 11th and 12th. But what a great story of interesting that they had treaties back then twixt the nations. Well, wait a minute. We can't go back to living like Christian nations because they didn't help one another. They didn't have treaties, and they were just jealous monarchs and this and that and the other. Sobieski honored Poland's treaty with Austria. It's right there in the text. He didn't say, no, I don't have to think about it. Come back later. You're bothering me. That's not really what that treaty says. I think that the entirety of the whole siege and the battle, and how Don John Poland is the fourth Don John, and how he bearing with him the Blessed Virgin Mary saves the day, was just planned. It was planned in heaven. These guys just went along with it. They were given the chance, and they chose correctly, and were blessed with the tremendous amount of graces as a result. You know, the Ottomans should have won the day that day. They outnumbered Sobieski 5-1. It wasn't even close. But as history shows, they didn't. So when somebody says to you, we're never going to make any headway in making America a Christian or even a Catholic sovereign nation, or not even a state or a region, there's not enough of us. Tell that to John Sobieski. As a matter of fact, tell that to the third Don John of Austria, who fought at the Battle of Lepanto. Tell that to the Grand Master Don John at Malta. He only had 2,000 men. The Mohammedans in their ships had 33,000 Janissaries. Tell that to Don John of Guadalupe of Spain, who also was outnumbered and finally drove the Mohammedans from Spain. So great to talk about that kind of history, because nobody else does, but we do it here on the Mike Church Show. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude Gear Store. Now listen, it's a long weekend. Start your weekend right. You were going to do a little fast and then some abstinence today. And then tomorrow you're going to fire the Barbie up after the Feast of the Assumption. Make sure you have Beast and Butt Rub. Make sure you have, look, if you're going to make a nice gravy for whatever it is that you're making, then you're going to need my roux spoon too. Get it all in the Dude Gear store at shop.mikechurch.com. Maggie excitedly came and told me somebody bought a Jim Collins book. I'm like, everybody should buy Jim Collins books, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You're wickedly depriving yourself if you don't. So Good to Great. It's a fantastic book. I'm probably going to read it again this fall, because I want the ideas to always be fresh in my mind. We have all of Collins's book. Did you know we had business books? We sure do, along with all just the multitude of great books that we have there, including books about how Christendom was built. Heroism to Genius is a great book. Next week we're going to be doing Knights and Heroes, and Heroism and Genius is a great book. So pick it up today in the hardback at shop.mikechurch.com. I want to play this digital media file, this Wolves and White Coats report, but we don't have time, so we're going to play it at the top of the next hour on Free Phone Friday here. And then I wanted to talk just a little bit about how people are now calling for the excommunication of the governor of Massachusetts, Maura Healey. If you're going to write a letter about Maura Healey, Catholic vote, and ask those bishops in Massachusetts to excommunicate her, which they should, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others, well, then don't stop there. You claim to be a national Catholic Catholic entity, Catholic vote. I'm not saying that you're not. Okay, fine. When you're done writing your letter about Maura Healey, do Kristen Gillibrand of New York. When you're done with Gillibrand, do Hateful Hochul, Satan's Apostle of New York. And the list could go on and on and on. When you're done with that, do Ted Lieu of California. When you're done with that, and do Dick Durbin of Illinois. There's hardly a Catholic out there that's in politics that has not fallen or doesn't advocate for the killing of the soon-to-be born. So there are plenty of letters to write about the political class and who to excommunicate. If the bishops started to do this, it wouldn't happen. Catholics would stop. You would stop dead in they would stop. No one wants to be humiliated and embarrassed, but you bring it on yourself and be excommunicated publicly and be publicly called a heretic. This was the worst thing that could happen to you back in the day. Today, not so much. Maybe some people out there. Oh, really? You call me a heretic? Yeah. Hey, it's a great day. Let's have a party. So we'll talk about that when we come back. So, third hour, coming up next.
Hey, it's time for another Cooking with the King Dude Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tip. Pour 1/2 cup beast and butt rub into 1/2 cup brown sugar. Combine the two thoroughly and then put that into a shaker. Now you have the sweetest and spiciest barbecue seasoning on the market. So your wife, who loves sweet, and your Uncle Bobo, who loves butt kicking spicy, are both satisfied with your barbecue, and to them, you are a beast and butt rub Beast Mode champion. Get more of my Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tips and your beast and butt rub today at shop.mikechurch.com.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
More news, financial literacy, quality of life, health improvements, Christian ministry, sports, and more. AM 1010, The King.
Mike Church Show News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different, like a symphony of facts.
And now, here's Janet Huxley.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Welcome to Friday, August 14th, 2026. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk, live from the ranch in Kansas City. This report is brought to you by Mike Church's Beast and Butt Rub, a rub that's won championships and will help make you a champ in your kitchen or backyard. Check out Mike's recipes and pick up a bottle or 6 today at shop.mikechurch.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. U.S. military takes drone warfare to new level with first-of-its-kind force. 10 House incumbent lawmakers who saw their 2026 re-election bids in primary defeat. HHS report alleges insurance fraud by gender-affirming pediatricians. Catholic group demands Massachusetts governor be excommunicated over abortion law. The U.S. military is launching the first ever multi-domain, multinational attack drone task force, CENTCOM said yesterday, a move preceded by months of Iranian drone strikes on American military bases in Gulf nations and other high-value targets. The unit, dubbed Task Force Falcon Strike, will use one-way unmanned attack drones that will operate above, on, and below the sea, according to CENTCOM. The drones will be operated by both U.S. military support staff and regional support partners. Falcon Strike will build the work of a previous drone-focused task force launched 9 months ago called Scorpion Strike, which was the U.S. military's first one-way attack drone squadron in the Middle East. Fox News is reporting that so far during the 2026 election season, 10 incumbent House lawmakers have lost primaries, including 3 Republicans and 7 Democrats. The 3 Republican incumbents who fell short include Dan Crenshaw of Texas, Thomas Massey of Kentucky, and Andy Ogles of Tennessee. The 7 incumbent House Democrats who lost include Al Green of Texas, Julie Johnson of Texas, Dan Goldman of New York, Adriano Espaillat of New York, Deanna DeGette of Colorado, Sri Thanadar of Michigan, and John Larson of Connecticut. The failed Texas and Tennessee U.S. House incumbents grappled with redistricting in their states that applied to this cycle. The Department of Health and Human Services issued a report yesterday alleging that practitioners of pediatric so-called gender-affirming care may have committed tens of millions of dollars in insurance fraud over the past decade. The report, entitled Wolves in White Coats, alleges the doctors were driven by profit. The pediatric gender industry was a strategic area of growth in revenue, the study found, estimating that hospitals billed insurance companies nearly $120 million for such treatments since 2019. Authors of the report said the practice was also fueled by guidance from Joe Biden's administration, which used Affordable Care Act regulations to threaten healthcare providers with investigations and enforcement actions if they refused certain gender procedures, which was considered discrimination based on gender identity. Our quote of the day: unfurl the sails and let God steer us where he will. St. Bede the Venerable. Coming up, more headlines. You're listening to The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
You can learn all about today's Saint of the Day and the Saint of the Day podcast by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint, courtesy of the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters. Now, a look at more headlines. A leading Catholic advocacy group is calling on Massachusetts bishops to excommunicate Governor Maura Healey after the Democrats signed legislation removing restrictions on late-term abortions, allowing for abortions up until birth. Healey, a Catholic, signed the Prioritizing Patient Access to Care Act October 10th. The measure gives physicians greater judgment in determining whether to perform late-term abortions without facing legal penalties. Previously, Massachusetts permitted abortions after 24 weeks, only if a physician determined it was necessary to preserve the mother's physical or mental health, or to save her life, or in cases of fatal fetal diagnoses. When the new law takes effect on November the 8th, those statutory restrictions will be removed, aligning Massachusetts with states like Colorado, Maryland, and Oregon, which have no gestational limits. Catholic Vote President Kelsey Reinhardt wrote an open letter to the Catholic bishops of Massachusetts, asking them to clarify whether Governor Healey's actions incurred automatic excommunication under church law. She pointed to canon law, which dictates that anyone who procures an abortion or assists someone in procuring one incurs an automatic excommunication. By the very fact of doing this, no one has to proclaim you excommunicated. You've done something so contrary to the faith that you've actually excommunicated yourself, Reinhardt told Fox News in an interview. The question is whether the governor signing the law makes her an accomplice in the public expansion of abortion. Reinhardt, the mother to a child who was born at 35 weeks gestation, noted that, under this law, a child at the same gestation could be aborted. I'm Janet Huxley for The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
Only the Crusade channel brings you the Saint of the Day read by actual nuns.
Really? Our sisters are actual sisters?
Yes, and you can catch their heavenly voices announcing the Saint of the Day on the Crusade channel.
Oh, you boomers and your live broadcasts. I'm a busy girl. Sure, I'm very important only in my own mind, but can I get them as podcasts?
I'm not a boomer. And yes, all Saint of the Day recordings are available as mini podcasts on our app and at crusadechannel.com.
I see saintly binge listening in my future. I feel holier already.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why do they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
And now more of what you bought your Dude Nation membership for showed up here today on a Free Phone Friday. Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network, live in the Mike Church Capuchin Holy Roast studio here. It is a Free Phone Friday. Folks, you know what that means.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
It's Free Phone. It's Free Phone.
Yes, it is a Free Phone Friday. you are charged with the task telling us what it is we shall talk about on the program, coming to you live across America on great terrestrial radio stations like our partner in Atlanta, Georgia, 1010 The King, WXKG. You can use his phone number too, 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Email me directly. My email address, same as it ever has been since since 2001. KingDude at MikeChurch.com. KingDude at MikeChurch.com. You know, this is just a little kind of a tidbit. So I'm editing the anthology book, which is going to come back out as a very much vastly expanded and improved ebook, and then a paperback about the untold story of the most prolific parody song band in modern radio history. That's the subtitle. And as I'm going through the anthology, because it literally is an anthology covering 20 years, mainly parody songs. You know, you run into these little things and you forget where they came from and how they came about. And I'm just remembering as I'm listening to it going that, you know what, I could have put the Free Phone Friday song on. It's not really a parody song, but it is from the movie Thank God It's Friday. I mean, that is the song, Thank God It's Friday. I just changed it from Thank God It's Friday to It's Free Phone Friday. We would just change the two words. In any event, just listening to some of these old tracks, I had forgotten. You know, I said I told myself I was threatening with myself to play one an hour on the anthology, because I sit in here and Maggie goes, "What are you," in the other room in the afternoon, she goes, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, I just queued up another one of these anthology tracks I haven't listened to in, I don't know, 12 years. I forgot how funny some of the stuff is. In any event, I think it's going to breathe some new life into this thing. This is just one little anecdote, quickly. In 2006, or in 2005, Un-American Idiots came out. That was the first CD that we put out. It had 12 tracks on it, Un-American Idiots. And they were all ours. The parody songs, 12 parodies. She Hates Bush was one of them. I'll remember some of the ACLU song was one of them. So I looked this up. What was Weird Al Yankovic doing at the time? Well, I'll tell you what he was doing at the time. In 2000, he put an album out that went gold. 2003, he put an EP out, which was just 2 songs that he had done. So he did not a whole album. In 2006, he actually put an album out, Live from Brentwood. And that went gold, and there was actually a single on there that made it into the top 40. Now, this is what I found was interesting. So in 2005, Un-American Idiots is a parody, it's a slam, actually, of those morons, those Canadian morons from Green Day and their American Idiot album, which so many of you or your children probably bought. So I come up with the title, Un-American Idiots. All I did was take their album cover and change it from American Idiot to Un-American Idiot, replace the grenade that they were crushing with a map of the United States. Now, we didn't have any parody songs of a Green Day song, but we did just parody and smash their entire album. You know that in 2006, when Weird Al's album, Live from Brentwood, the only top 40 hit that he's had since Eat It, in 1984, is a song called Canadian Idiot, which is a parody of Green Day's American Idiot. And then going so a full year and a half before Weird Al makes a couple $100,000 on Canadian Idiot, Mike Church, the Mike Church Show Band, do an entire album and parody on American Idiots, the same album from Green Day. And I just thought, I was just like, well, great minds thinking alike, big difference. He made $10 million, and I made a ham sandwich. Well, it's okay. Actually, he had to sue his record company. They didn't pay him his royalties for Canadian Idiot. He had to sue him, and they ultimately paid him.
They're from California.
What?
Green Day's from California.
I thought they were Canadian.
Nope, California.
Okay, whatever. Why do people have to ruin good stories? Why? I don't care. I bet one of them was from Canada.
That's producer number 4, the fact checker.
In any event, I just thought I would pass that along. It's just an interest. It's just one of the stories that I added to the anthology, but I didn't say that they were Canadian. I just thought, because I listened to Weird Al's Canadian Idiot, that's what made me think that they were from Canada. So in any event, California Idiot, same Canadian, California Idiot, same thing. No difference. A border, which they don't acknowledge. So what's the difference? Okay. To the telephones at 844-527-8723. And if you're wondering when you can get your hands on the ebook, it will supposed to be ready this weekend. It should be out Monday. Just let you know. Okay. Mitter Monday is first up here this hour on the Mike Church Show on a Free Phone Friday. Yes, old farmer. How are you?
Hot, sweaty, and full of bugs. How are you?
Well, it's so hot here that the heat has killed all the bugs.
That's what Nitter's Church told me. I said, I like the hot weather. I wish it was hot enough to kill these bugs. And slightly irritated because I'm out there trying to dig ramps out of one of my other trailers because somebody stole the one from my other trailer. So, But that's, there are not all good people in the world.
True story.
But,
no, they're all good people. What are you talking about?
I'm sure somebody needed them more than I do, but I need them today. But hopefully I won't ruin one of your stories. But I want to put a twist on something because we've talked about this. You've talked about this for a while, but I'm not a financial expert. I only play one on the radio, and I know you talk a lot to our network studio there, whole group. And I've read lots of these studies, and, some Harvard professor did this study and that study and making equivalencies of, where we are now and why people are so poor today. And I think they miss very fundamental things that I have never seen anybody look at. Would you indulge me for a moment?
Sure. Lay it out, brother.
Lay it out. Okay. And, it's very difficult to make equivalencies over time and over different cultures. I mean, you can't, how much did a Roman make, in our own. How much did they have to make in the 18th century, which I study a lot? There's no equivalencies to it. Well, let's do something a little more recent. Let's go back to the mid-50s when things are flying high for America.
Yep.
All right. And do you know what the average salary was for either factory worker or foreman? There's a bad word, foreman. Making stuff in 1955? I looked it up. A little more than I thought it was. But how much do you think it was?
I'm going to guess it was probably about $3,000.
I'm talking about a weekly. So, well, yeah.
Okay, I'm going monthly.
Yeah, that's about right. You're about right. I thought it was around $50-$60. They said, it's on the internet, so it must be true. They say, $60-$70 a week. Today, the average salary is $32,000, $33,000, $34,000. So that's around $700 a week. And we can try to equivalent that to gold and the rent and all this other stuff, but I got a different twist on it that I don't think anybody ever looks at. In 1955, how much was a toaster?
An electric toaster was. Now I feel like I'm on The Price is Right.
Look it up.
Actual. I feel like Bob Barker now. Actual retail price is a toaster, because it was made to last and it was made by a good company. I got to say a toaster was $15.
Well, low end was 15, high end was 40 if you got a big 4-slice toaster.
Oh, really?
So, really. So, I look at that and I say, okay, even a mid-range, okay, they bought a $25 toaster.
And this would have been
They're spending
an
nearly-
Oster brand or something like that.
Well, you know, or General Electric.
Or
and
GE.
So, you know, they're prepared. People were prepared to spend 40-50% of their weekly income on that toaster.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Now today, I don't know. I don't go shopping. What's a toaster cost at Walmart? They used to be $19.99. What do they cost now? $30-$40?
Yep.
50 maybe. Maggie can look that up. I didn't look it up.
You can get one. Oh gosh, you can get one you get one made in Ched out of plastic and cheap, very thin aluminum that'll catch your house on fire for 10.
Yeah, all right. And, you know, so
$20
what
for
percentage of that against
$20.
the set-
What? Okay.
Yeah,
What does a DeLonghi cost? A nice DeLonghi, which is still probably made Ched. Probably 50.
You can get a Cuisinart toaster for $60.
Okay, you can get a Cuisinart for $60, Mittermundi. 60.
All right, so that's you know,
about the
10%
same.
or less than 10% of the average salary. And you were hitting on part of it where I'm going with this. Not only is it, you know, there's no comparison there. If you went down Grandma's basement and found that toaster she bought in 1955 and plugged it in, I bet you still works.
It still works.
Now, if you look today, you know, well, I can't afford to live. How many things do we have today that some of it which we've done to ourselves and made them indispensable, like the smart dumb phone,
right?
And all the other crap that we need to have because we're Americans, we got to have all this, and we have the right to have all this.
Well, we Americans, we do.
There's no equivalency here to sit there and say how people, well, they can't afford to live today. I don't buy it. There's you know, we can compare values of dollars.
Okay, can I just interject something real quick? Did you hear the Polly and the Don show?
No.
Okay, well, the Don is taking your exact angle. They were talking about Polly, who you know who it is. Polly started off with a $20 burrito, and the Don goes, I don't care about it. You don't have to have a $20 burrito. And his point was the exact point that you just made.
Well, yeah, we're buying a lot of crap, and most of it we don't need. Now, I'm not suggesting, you don't want to have nice things, you don't want to live nice, but we just have to live that way all the time. Here's what I see. You know, in New Jersey, where we're not competent enough to pump our own gas, you know, so you have to go get gas. So occasionally, I will, you know, say, well, I'm waiting, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. So I'll go into the local Wawa, and I'll get my $2.29 for a lousy coffee. And I'm standing in line, and I'm looking. And then there's some people, you know, some of them, okay, they're kind of dressed nice enough to suggest maybe they do go to work 3 days a week. And, you know, a bunch of working guys, they're landscapers or whatever, and I'm looking there. And they got 3 cans of Monsters, 2 bags of chips, a breakfast sandwich, they're getting cigarettes. And I'm looking at this, and I say, you guys do this every day, 5-6 days a week. And you spend $20, $30, $40 in the morning there on crap. Absolute crap. This isn't something to say, well, you know, I got to eat. No, this is crap. I'm trying to use good words here, Minister, on the radio.
Well, you know what?
Okay, you know, it's $150 a week, $600 a month, and then I can't afford my electric bill. You should have your electric cut off.
And you know what?
I have no empathy for this.
I don't have any empathy for them either because you're behind them in the checkout line or you're at the inconvenience store or the packy sack, and they got three 5-hour energies. A couple of Hostess Ho-Ho snacks. Maybe they might throw in a pack of cigarettes. Maybe a banana, you know, a store-bought or somebody that brought it in and they wrapped a blueberry muffin in shrink wrap or whatever. And, you know, the grand total is $21.
Yeah.
That's $100 a week.
Yeah, I mean, again,
you can make your own muffin for 10.
Things, but, you know, I know there are people who are hurting. And, you know, well, I'm a single mom with 2 kids. Well, let's not even go there.
Well, that's a bad situation. That's different.
Yeah, and, you know, and whether you created yourself, but it is what it is, and there are certain responsibilities. But some of these other people, you know, and then, well, I could barely afford to live. It's like...
No, and that was the Don's point. The Don was like, if and you go, when I was coming up, and he's about 10 years younger than you and I. But his experience was the same, because my experience was the same. He's like, you know, we lived in really small, crap apartments, We bought ramen noodles. Some weeks we bought meat. Some weeks it was deviled ham. Just depends. We packed our own lunches. We brought if we were going to put a whole day of work in, we planned for it and brought our own food. We fed ourselves. We cooked at home. Whatever it was that we could cook. We didn't go out. And like I said yesterday on yesterday's show, I'm sure you caught some of it. We knew the schedule of all the happy hours in town.
Yeah.
We knew where to go to get $5 all-you-can-eat Poncho's Mexican food on Thursdays. Ralph Dupas and I used to go, get this, Dan, we would go to Chuck E. Cheese's for lunch because they had a $5 all-you-can-eat pizza buffet.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could, and Ralph and I would, Ralph was my old roommate. Ralph and I would split a pitcher of beer, which was $2 then. Can you imagine that pitcher of beer was $2? We'd split a pitcher of beer and $5 all you can eat. We're out the door for $12. And maybe we played $1 worth of Miss Pac-Man or Billy Bob. We gave Billy Bob a quarter or 10 cents or whatever to make the thing go. You're in and you're out. Two guys are in and out for $13 for a lunch on a vending. And that was a weekly thing. You knew what day to go, right? For the $5 all you can eat buffet.
Well, I'll give you one better. When I was, we had our first little 800 square foot house, and I had 2 kids, and I'm working 80 hours a week, and we were saving and doing things. Every 6 weeks I'd go to the Price Club, which is now Costco.
That's right.
And I'd stock up on, pasta and cranberry juice and tuna fish and the things that we needed for the kids and stuff. And I splurge. I get 1 case of beer from my wife, and back in those days, I get 1 case of wine coolers for me. That was our splurge.
Bartles
and
and James.
That day?
Was it Bartles and James?
I went up and down all the end of aisle samplers, and that was my lunch for the day.
Just to that end, and I got to go because I have another caller.
Yep.
But one final thing. Middish Chur is in. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but she's. And she's in her 4th decade. She still shops the grocery store down the street sends a mailer out once a week. It's like a little newspaper fold out, right? And cheap newsprint, in full color. And it has the weekly specials on it. She goes through and she goes, going to Bonings. They got chicken wings, they got chicken thighs, 99 cents a pack. And bammo, she's down the street and she's buying shopping bargains. These punks that are whining about their $7 chai lattes that they don't have to have and that they're broke and they can't afford to live. Oh, I agree with the Don. Stick it. You need to learn to suck it up. You need to learn frugality and you need to learn how to manage your money. So,
well, we all learned, like I learned from my grandmother. She went shopping every Friday, and you know what we did? We went to 5 different stores.
Oh, my mother used to do that.
This here, and this here, and this here.
You get your meat here, you get your paper towels here.
When in the late 80s, when she retired, and my grandfather died a few years later, I mean, he was at work. He had a machine shop. He never made more than $15,000 a year, but she died with $750,000. So, and she didn't deprive herself,
That's amazing. All right, Mitter Monday.
Anyway.
All right, thank you for calling. Great to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Call back anytime. Let me go quickly to Angie. Angie, let me just tell you real quick. Can you hang on through the break? It's only 3 minutes.
I will.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much. So folks, we'll take the quick time out. Mitter Monday is right about this, but take the toaster just as an example. Okay, so $40 for a Supreme top-of-the-line toaster in the 1950s. You can still get the same price on a toaster. What does that indicate? That does not indicate rising incomes or anything of the sort. It indicates gains in productivity. That's what it indicates, gains in productivity. Figured out how to make it cheaper. They also may have made it less reliable. Did the $40 toaster from this year last in Grandma's basement 30 years?
Your idea of an oasis of sanity. As things go more insane in this messed up world, maybe it's time you consider that question. Join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for St. Benedict Center's annual conference. Our theme will be Oases of Sanity in the 21st Century. This is Brother Andre Marie of Reconquest. Join Charles Colomb, Commander John Sharp, CJ Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sisters Maria Filomena, Anne Marie Gabrielle, and me for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie. Go to Catholicism.org/conference, Catholicism.org/conference.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Friday, August 14th, 2026. This report is brought to you by Mike Church's Beast and Butt Rub, a rub that's won championships and will help make you a champ in your kitchen or backyard. Check out Mike's recipes and pick up a bottle or 6 today at shop.mikechurch.com. In the market report, all 3 major indexes climbed a little again. The Dow was up 0.13%, the S&P 0.65%, and NASDAQ was up 0.81%. Today in National Calendar Day news, it's National Navajo Code Talkers Day. Each year, we honor the contributions of the Native Americans who brought their unique abilities to the World War II effort. And that day is today, highlighting their impact on U.S. code and the Native American language that made it possible. Initially, there were 29 code talkers. However, that number would grow. Until 1968, the program remained classified. At that time, the United States presented the original 29 Navajo code talkers with Congressional Gold medals. Additionally, the remaining Navajo code talkers were presented with Congressional Silver medals. Today is also National Creamsicle Day. It's the brand name of an ice cream treat consisting of vanilla ice cream on the popsicle stick with an outer coating of sherbet. In 1905, an 11-year-old by the name of Frank Epperson inspired the creation when he invented the original popsicle by mixing up powdered soda, and he left the beverage overnight with the stirring stick in it. Temperatures dropped unusually low that night, and the next morning, he found the liquid frozen on the stick. He dubbed the creation the Epsicle. Sometime later, it was changed to Popsicle. Our quote of the day, unfurl the sails and let God steer us where he will. Saint Bede the Venerable. You can learn about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast, From the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters, by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. You're listening to The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins, I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years, and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m., mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com.
When you hear the noon bells tolling, it's time for Angelus, brought to you by the Crusade Channel.
Hey, it's time for another Cooking with the King Dude Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tip. Pour 1/2 cup beast and butt rub into 1/2 cup brown sugar. Combine the two thoroughly and then put that into a shaker. Now you have the sweetest and spiciest barbecue seasoning on the market. So your wife, who loves sweet, and your Uncle Bobo, who loves butt-kicking spicy, are both satisfied with your barbecue, and to them, you are a beast and butt rub Beast Mode champion. Get more of my Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tips and your beast and butt rub today at shop.mikechurch.com.
Most Crusade Channel wannabes only get the mission half right.
Men, you are about to embark on a great crusade.
to stamp out runaway decency in the West.
So why settle for half-baked radio hacks crusading in mono when you can get the real deal on the Mike Church Show?
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
In stereo. The Mike Church Show's Great Crusade is on the Veritas Radio Network's Crusade.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Staying alive in too much heaven here on a free phone Friday Mike Church Show, coming to you live by the Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast Studio. This portion of the program brought to you by Mike Church's Haberdashery. Now remember, haberdash is not just ties. It's not waistcoats. It's not slacks. It's not tuxedos. It's all of that. Haberdash is men's clothes, so make your sartorial choices wisely, gentlemen. Follow me, and I'll keep you well-dressed and well-fed. Shop with us today in haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop.mikechurch.com. Just looking at the cuts here, we have to get to this RK Jr. and JD Vance. We'll get to in just a minute. Call in line telephone number 844-527-8723. Okay, back to the telephones here on a busy free phone Friday. Here is Angie, and I guess, is this Arizona or New Mexico?
No, it's in Idaho.
That's Idaho. That's even worse.
North Idaho, yeah.
No,
last night I went to a training. It was from the Leadership Institute, and they did an intensive training workshop on the abortion issue, Prop 1, and talk about liabilities. You know, the devil has been at this for a while in every state. And so the language, and I tried to find it right now. My phone is so slow. I tried to find the language on Prop 1, but they had it up on the screen. And we also have an early voting, I guess, in October, which my friend was telling me, we don't want to do that. We want to do it on the day. If you do early voting, they could tamper with the votes. Guess who's going to take advantage of early voting? The people who are for Prop 1, who say yes, who've been going door to door.
Yep.
We need to hit the ground running, and we're already kind of behind as pro-life people. You're not going to appeal to people who've heard the liabilities with the sanctity of life, made in the image, la, la, la. You're not going to, because there's Catholics who are for this. And they, you're not going to appeal to them with that. They have their own ideas, but you can appeal to them with the caring, fairness, and liberty. They're talking about in the language in Idaho, prior to Dobbs, only doctors could perform abortion. Well, now, literally, I saw the list last night, and I really perked up because I used to be a massage therapist in California. I have like 1,000 hours of schooling behind me, which includes $200 a piece of anatomy and pathology.
Well, there you
I
go.
could have set up shop in Idaho if this passes. I could set up shop under my massage therapy license, and I could perform an abortion. Your dentist can perform an abortion. The language says that a licensed person or entity could perform an abortion. A nurse, a PT therapist, anybody in the medical field, or a massage therapist. Come on. I didn't, she was trying to say you almost have to come at it like you're actually on their side. Oh, you want an abortion and you want the abortion to be safe? Well, guess what? A doctor doesn't have to be there. Your midwife, your dentist, your massage therapist, they can perform abortions. And by the way, they removed the medical malpractice because, they allow for no doctors to do it exclusively. Your nail salon is going to be more stringent in their codes and compliances over your local dentist or massage therapist.
Isn't that something?
And then, too, if one of them on the list, and it's a big list who's allowed under this language, if anyone on that list botches something, they're not liable because the medical malpractices doesn't apply. And then, too, it would be up until legal into the 9th month, no parental knowledge at all. Parental rights are completely stripped. Idaho law says if a baby can survive, the doctor must try to save it. Prop 1 deletes that sentence altogether. And also life-saving requirements if the baby comes out and they need it. They're not going to do anything. So it's a cootie, but we're not going to appeal to the people we're against with what makes us tick, why we want to not have it. They go off of fairness, caring, and liberty. And there was a lady there who runs the Open Arms facility.
I
that
found
they
it.
have here.
If you want to hear it, Angie, I have it.
Yeah.
Here's the text. This is Article 2, Section D. Any person or entity may voluntarily advise, assist, facilitate, inform, refer, or otherwise aid another person exercising the right to reproductive freedom and privacy, and the state shall not burden, interfere with, discriminate against, deprive, or prohibit such acts directly or indirectly in any manner unless such state action is narrowly tailored to improve or maintain the health of the person seeking reproductive health care through the least restrictive means. My God! My Lord, that means a veterinarian can kill a child.
That's right. They could set up
Who
a
in the hell wrote this?
room for that. No. Yeah, the cootie. The cootie wrote it, and they're writing these things statewide. You think Massachusetts just signed this thing? The liabetes is thick. That language is nasty. And not only that, they had a Barbasol. She had an exercise where she was like, the lady who ran this is a Catholic.
Okay.
It's on the Leadership Institute website, and she had us do a Barbasol ad. On Route 66 where they have those signage, for Barbasol, and you would drive by and you'd see a piece of it. So everybody had to do a sign ad for Barbasol on abortion, or Barbasol ad on abortion. And we have a few dentists at our parish. A dentist can do this. So I said, your dentist pulls teeth, not babies. Vote no on Prop 1. Or you could say your dentist extracts wisdom teeth, not babies. Vote no on Prop 1,
Well, let me just tell you something. I found this. This is who is behind this. Idahoans United for Women and Families. Have you heard of this outfit?
No, but the man who was leading the charge, God bless him, Mr. Zint, who is leading the charge on abortion at our parish, and he is a consistent leader. He was there last night, and so he would know. And I'm hoping that he puts something together at our parish. It's not so much speaking to the choir, because there are some people in the Catholic Church in various parishes who have ideas about, even though it's all the babies. You got one coming in from being freshly Protestant delivered, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not, they've converted. they're not, you need to help them along. And I'm hoping that something in our parish, we can have some sort of talk about that. But we also need to go, quite frankly, do the uncomfortable thing and go to your neighbor's door to door.
Well,
she says, if you...
the Proddies are actually pretty good at this. The Proddies are better at it than we are.
Yeah, they are.
Especially
and a lot
the
of them will make up
evangelicals.
the people who want this.
Well, the
This is not about
evangelicals
family.
are rock solid on this. They're 100% better than we are. And you know what? Going door to door, that is actually... you need to get in touch with. It sounds like you got active since the last time you called. That's great. You need to get in touch with the Susan B. Anthony Foundation and Marjorie Dannenfelser, because they will send SB Anthony babes to Idaho, and they will ask for volunteers, and they will canvass neighborhood door to door. They did it here in Louisiana, Angie, and we got our version of the Love Life Amendment. We got it through the legislature and got it passed by ballot initiative 82-18. And the SB Anthony, they'll do it. The Susan B. Anthony list will do it.
Okay. Well, then, too, what was nice was people from our state house were there. The people who went to, there's a couple of people who are from the state house. I want to say Mr. Mendive, he was there yesterday, and he's state representative of Idaho. He was sitting in the audience, and I'm like, yes, he's in Boise. He's going to go wherever he can, I'm sure, to... it's shocking. The language is shocking. It got on the back. How does it get past us like that? This isn't about families. And too, the parental rights, we're in a state where we're between two states. We're Montana and was it Washington? Ugh. That's a trafficking route. It's a big-time trafficking route. Now, somebody's getting past it over there. But, if there's a child who is being... molested, incest, whatever, and they get pregnant, the parental rights are gone. You don't have to have your parent know. Even the school can say, something about an abortion. We'll give you abortion pills, or they don't have to tell you, and your kids are bleeding out and you don't know why.
Well, this looks...
The thing with the medical, let's say your dentist opens a shop in his facility. He doesn't have to have massage therapist, your veterinary clinic, like you said, they don't have to have the requirements a doctor would performing abortion, and they are exempt of being sued for malpractice if they mess up.
Well, let me just...
That's insidious.
Let me say to you that I don't know who wrote this, but it looks to me like it came right out of Planned Parenthood. I don't even think Planned Parenthood is capable of this, but whoever wrote it, this is basically you can kill... at will. This is a James Bond license to kill, and anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it.
Well, if the people of Idaho, anyone that votes for this should be, if you know them, you should be suspect of them, because they're probably involved in some really demonic activities that they're just not disclosing. You have to be.
Yeah, this place is such a... I tell you right now, it felt like Chris Kyle was here. So all manner of safety, chivalry, wonderfulness. And then, too, you just feel very safe. Mr. White was there last night with his wife, and they're very... they're parishioners of the SSPX, and they are very staunchly pro-life, pro-gun, pro-Constitution. And he told us when we first got here 5 years ago, yesterday was the 12th was our anniversary for being here 5 years. And he came over to give a bid for my mom's blinds. And he sat there and talked to her, and he said, that's great. You guys moved here. Awesome. Wonderful. You love it. Awesome. Now you got to help us keep it like that. And I didn't understand what he said then, but now I do. We have to fight the good fight, and we have to hit the ground running while we're at it, because there's no... It astounds me. But of course, it's a very conservative, very pro-family area. North Idaho is all family, all about the babies. Homeschooling is throughout the state. Moms having babies at home. Everybody going back to the land. La la la. It's a blessed land. Well, we have to work to keep it that way.
You do
Historic.
have to.
We have to be those people of history.
Well, you can also, Angie, and I got to go because I got some other stuff to do. But one piece, and I'm glad you called back, that you stayed in touch and called back. Go to the Blessed Virgin Mary. Go to the Rosary. You gotta do novenas. You got to pray for the wackos that put this that they will have their hearts softened and their wills moved to action, that they will be converted to the faith and get out of this demonic activity that they're obviously that they're messing with. This is the way they worded it for the ballot is very crafty, and that's how they do it. They make it so that, it's so innocuous. It's just a little thing. No, it's not innocuous. It's not just a little thing.
No, it's horrible.
Oh, here's what it says on the ballot. Measure creating right to abortion before fetus viability and post-viability to protect health, right to privacy, healthcare provider liability protections. That's what it's going to say.
The privacy means that the perpetrators who rape and molest children get away with it.
That's right.
The perpetrators who traffic, they get away with their crime.
Well,
hell, what about the mental health of the man or the boy involved or the husband involved or the boyfriend?
What about the massage therapist that undertakes? Well, I'll take care of it for you, sweetie. Just come in, because they can't stop me from doing it, and not only kills the child but kills the mother. Are you going to
know anything against them? They won't be sued. They can't under this law. They can't. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
We're trying to swap cables here, folks. Just hold on 1 second.
What in the world is going on? Check.